the clickhole video about people trying their first Gatorade.
I started screaming and demanding that I get to fly the plane because I had the most energy.
I told my boss this drink is a nightmare, and I'm going to have it every day for the rest of my life.
I love how it was just like straight up cocaine.
Just even more surreal.
Yeah. All Gatorade is like lightly salted sugar water. At least that's all it is now. It used to be a little more chemically diverse.
Yeah, but now they have their whole line of Gatorade pseudo science products, like the gummies and the nuts and
yeah, their
cheese.
freaking 3-part hydration system or whatever that they tried to market.
Yeah, I remember that. They're like, what if we just sold? What if we did this so we could sell 3 times as much Gatorade?
Yeah, my reaction to that is like, so I'm gonna. You expect me to pay extra for shit that doesn't really work?
Yep.
Once you get like into actually like looking into the stuff, like you just buy a bunch of boxes of chocolate milk.
Yeah. Or you do what our good friend, why do I not remember his name? Football man. Our best buddy.
Bringley?
Brinkley. Yeah, and just pack your lip full of caffeine. Way too much caffeine.
Pre-workout.
Pre-workout, yeah.
Which is not good for you under any circumstances. Oh shit. I forgot how that works. That was a very messy combat scenario. I apologize for everyone who had to watch that atrocity. But it's over now, and I get to shut down this last pump here, and we'll be on our way. Taking out one Pamela Isley. So I've been watching Batman the Animated Series on Amazon Prime. And watched this one episode that was like, I guess the plot is Poison Ivy is a feminist, and it was weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That was the thing in the comics, though, right? Like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy sort of like they get away and they just like live away from everyone else.
Yeah, they team up, and like there's a larger focus on that in New Batman Adventures, which is sometimes considered Batman the Animated Series Season 4, but tone and art style is rather dramatically different, so I don't tend to lump them together. But yeah, there's an episode. This was the crux of the episode, and then there was a lot of feminist diatribe from Poison Ivy. I'm like, this does not fit the tone of this cartoon at all. And like Batman had a great line because she's like, I bet you didn't expect a girl to bring you down, huh? And he's like, crazy people are capable of anyone. It doesn't matter if they're a guy or girl.
Yeah. Batman just bringing it down.
He's seen
real
some
level.
shit.
He's been through some fucked up situations.
Had his back broken. He's fought the Predator.
Oh, was that an actual thing? Did he actually fight the Predator?
Yes, Batman versus Predator. It was... I can't say that I recommend the read, but if you're just in it for the spectacle, then I guess go ahead.
That sounds like fun.
I can recommend, however, Nightfall, if you can find the trades. They're a little difficult to track down.
That's the vampire one, right?
No, that's the one where Bane shows up and breaks Batman's back.
Oh yeah,
It
okay.
gets a little weird toward the end of some of the follow-ups with like when Azrael goes crazy. Um, but it starts off strong at least.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very good premise.
And of course the classics, The Dark Knight Returns is a good one. Year One, also a good one. Long Halloween, similarly good. Uh, I like Death of the Family a lot. Death in the Family was also good. But Death of the Family was pretty interesting. A lot of people didn't like it because they just don't like the new 52 style of Joker.
Oh, what's different? You gotta
Like
change them.
it's he wears this like janitor's uniform that says Joe on it, and he like cut his face off and wears it as a mask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a jarring character design, but I think the story was good. How it like pitted the whole Bat family against each other in some like crazy design stuffs.
yeah. It sounds really.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I was digging the new 52 for a while, and then they like just decided that there was a company-wide policy against making good comic books.
Yeah. I bet they were just like, these are okay, but they're not amazing, and not getting those. I feel like to some degree they're still stuck in that mindset of got to get the immediate buys. You know,
Well,
yeah, get those.
it's different because like comics are in a area of transition because it's moving from print to digital, and the way revenue streams come in is changing. People aren't buying comic books so much, but Comixology and Marvel Unlimited are doing fairly well. Um, so like I can understand them doing stuff, but it was so weird the drastic like when the new 52 started, it was 52 new comics, and they were all like newer writers, hungry writers, writing good, entertaining stories with some newer concepts. And then they started shuffling around all the writers on the series, and like people were getting replaced after like 4 or 5 issues, and the characters lost their story continuity, and it just all went downhill. And I'm sure we're just another year or so away from another Infinite Crisis to reset the continuity.
It really sucks. This of the things to rejuvenate the DC. You know, the new 52 was like a really solid plan.
Yeah, and like I said, I was digging it for a long while. And then I don't know. Like comics in general have gone downhill a bit because they're catering to an audience that like doesn't exist. Like comic writers are writing comics for like comic critics and not like the audience that's going to buy and read them.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. Yeah, I don't know what a comic critic would, what they would want out of these.
So like I don't want to get like too, political or preachy, but they like, the super progressive sort of stuff.
Oh, the like where the comics are just thinly veiled social commentary,
Yeah.
like really thinly veiled.
Yes. And like, deconstructions of what a comic book even is and all that sort of hoopla.
Yeah,
When
where
the
they watch
people who
Watchmen and they're
actually
like, oh man, this is like the greatest. They create the Shrine of Alan Moore.
fucking Alan Moore. I've talked about him in the past and how he's an overrated blowhard.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, basically. And but the thing is, people just want good stories, and
yeah,
it's not hard. They make it hard.
Yeah, I it's it is really interesting because you know a good story, right? We all learned in writing class has to be about a theme, right? And the theme has to be some idea, some core idea that you kind of want to get across and you explore it in a lot of ways, right? And it seems like a lot of writing now is those themes have been restricted maybe to like temporal issues and things of the times and just I don't know. That's some of the weaker writing that you see today is that stuff that dates itself
Yeah.
and isn't about the human condition and about things the eternal problems that great writing has always been about.
Right. Yeah. And that's why, like, when you think back on like what are some of the great stories, the comic stories of the past 5 or so years, you can't really come up with much because they're all just kind of transient stuff. I mean, I guess that reaches back to 2012, and there was some good stuff around that time.
And that's why something like the Killing Joke is really good because it's not a political statement thing or whatever. It's about he says it right there, and then they explore it. Every man is just one bad day away.
Yeah.
So
I will give Alan Moore props. The Killing Joke was good.
hmm yeah, I think Alan Moore gave some fresh takes that I think were needed.
A
But
fair amount of his stuff was good, but he also, like, we're talking about, you fall into the trap of being too political, and, like, Alan Moore was patient zero for that. Like, V
yeah,
for Vendetta was... I liked V for Vendetta, but it was very much politics. Like, his stories are fine, but people assail him as, the divinity of, comic writers. When his stuff was above average at best and, really not great at worst.
yeah. Like I think of Alan Moore. I treat him sort of the same way as when you look back as I don't know N64 stuff that was a lot of people really remembered the N64 games super fondly, and for their time they were very good. It was new stuff, innovative, in its own way, and handled pretty well, right? But
Right.
do they hold up today? For a good portion, not really.
No.
Like
Yeah.
trying to think about GoldenEye.
Yeah. That's a rough one by today's standards.
So I think that's a pretty solid analogy.
Yeah, but I'm just getting fucking reamed there. That was rough. But I made it to safety just by running.
Run away.
So you're here at last. Do you like
So,
that
and then you had
place?
Image
My
Comics,
babies are
which
growing
was
up.
its own brand of politics, namely comic book politics.
Yeah. Image
While
Comics and Dark Horse, they all, Dark Horse was interesting because they were just like, they'd publish anything, like movie tie-ins, There was a lot of varied stuff from Dark